It'll eventually time out if you don't
Okay.
have it be
Welcome, race fans, live here at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. We are live tonight racing. First time tonight we're going to be live, as last week we did a little experiment with our live YouTube Live. Get it right here. Get it right. We are live again tonight with YouTube Live. But as always, every Saturday night we are live right here at 95.3 KCSI out of Red Oak, Iowa. Very happy to have them on board like always, and we're here with you. Those of you tuning in on the air on the internet, seeing us on here, you can see our backdrop here. Hopefully, you can see the cars out there in the infield. The track looks great. Mother Nature has decided to bring the wind up on us, but it's going to be a great night for racing. We have already got the pits about half full, I'd say, and I know we have a lot of new cars tonight because I think there's a couple of tracks rained out in our area, but looking forward to that. It's always good to get that first night in, just like we did our show last week. It's getting those bugs worked out for us, see what we need to do out there, get everything tweaked to get all the drivers signed in for the year. That helps to get all that done. It gets all of our people, our staff, accustomed to what we got to do every week. So looking forward to getting this first night in, and it's been a long off season. We're back to racing, and I tell you what, guys, I know we said Billy Rock, but I got Cole Hendrickson here to my right, and Evan, as always, my son Evan Baldwin to the left. And welcome, guys, to Pitside Live, and we're live racing again.
Yeah, for sure. It's we last week after Saturday after our show, we were looking at the weather, and we were like, it don't look too hot again. And Monday, Tuesday came around, and it just started to change, and it changed, I think, every single day. And I started messaging people, and everything was, everything was starting to go our way a little bit more. The temperature started to rise on Saturday. I think it went from last Saturday they were predicting 45 degrees and some rain, and it changed, and I know some friends to our east. I know Boone Speedway is not racing tonight. They got hit with some rain. We were actually very lucky because my dad and I were over in Creston last night doing a little house shopping, and it rained the whole time over there. And when you got to about the Clearfield turnoff there on Highway 34, there was nothing. I mean, there was guys playing in the field, and then we got to Creston. I'll bet you Creston probably got over an inch of rain.
Yeah, you got a lot of rain, I tell you.
And if we would have got that, there would have been no rain, no way we were going to race.
Exactly right.
So looking forward to tonight. We should have a really good car count tonight again. There's only 2 tracks other than us in our area that are racing tonight, and the weather looks great. Unfortunately, there is a little bit of wind, but I think looking at our flags here, it has shifted back a little bit to the west.
It'll be to your back.
So I know there was a little bit of I don't know what that was, a front that went through. We had a big old wind gust coming at our face here, but it looks like it's switched back, and it should be a good night of racing. If you're on your way to the track, or if you're watching us on YouTube, come on over. We're racing tonight. Hot Lap 6:30 racing at 7. Couple of pieces of information I want to acknowledge right now that I'm thinking of is we have changed our grandstand admission this year price to $12 to get in. Again, everything we just have to we have to do what's best for our business, and unfortunately we had to raise some prices, but we're still, that's still really cheap entertainment.
Everything else in the world, we got to cover our costs. And
I know,
going up,
but hey, it's super cheap entertainment. I know Cole goes to a lot of races. He goes to NASCAR races, and I'm sorry, but $12 is nothing, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I say, most dirt tracks you go to on a Saturday night or even a Friday night, you're going to be looking at $20, $25. So,
oh, yeah.
But man, I got my feet kicked up here. I see some beautiful race cars out there. Here's some engine heat going on, and I'm ready to see some racing tonight.
Yeah, it's nice to hear that. Well, it's going to be great here in a little bit. We're going to hear those cars.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have those motors revved up. That's the awesome part of it. So, but like Evan said, we're back racing live. It's just great to get the season kicked off. I can't say that enough. We're going to have some guests on again tonight, just like normal. We're going to start off with our track champions from last year. We had Jesse on last week, do our kickoff with our YouTube channel, but so Jesse's had his spiel last week, and he enjoyed himself, I do believe, as they did the whole day.
Him and Coop did, I think.
Coop, yeah, it was good to have some guinea pigs up here to get this started with. So, but we've got all your track champions here from last week. We'll have Austin Paul, John Berg, Luke Ramsay, and Brad Derry up here as guests tonight. So look forward to that. Make sure you spread the word so you'd be listening. watching. So that's the new thing about it. And like we said, I talked to Aaron earlier. We had several hits last week for the show as it was replayed, and you can watch it anytime. That's the neat part of it, and hopefully we can just keep gaining our fan base with that too.
Hey, the good news is, big thanks to Aaron. He's sitting over here. This nice box right here, we don't hear a tick.
Yeah,
I know that was a couple. I had a couple people talk to me. They're like, "Man, that tick was just kind of annoying." I'm like, it was annoying for us too. So, again, we're going to work the kinks out. We're still working on that audio for our commercial time on our YouTube. Working on getting that audio turned off so you can't hear some people talking in the background like we did last time. But hey, it's more entertainment that way, I guess. But
Yeah.
Again, looking forward to tonight. We have our second annual Busch Light Crack a Cold One tonight. Normal classes, first night of the NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Racing Series. Again, our 5 classes on the docket. We got our Floating Vine Compacts, Chat Mobility Hobby Stocks, Northland Oil Stock Cars, O'Reilly Auto Parts B Modifieds, and our premier division is our Poet Biorefining A Modifieds. And I know we got a couple new drivers this year in some different classes. Looking forward to seeing some new faces. Also looking forward to see some new shiny wraps. The first week's always the most fun because everything's pretty straight, and we always hope as fans and as people that love this sport so much that everybody leaves the night in one piece so they can come back next week not having a lot of work to do. But Cole and I we talk about wraps and stuff like that all the time. We're looking forward to seeing some new wraps out there, and we have some new faces, especially in our B modified division. There's a couple new drivers this year. I know we got a 14-year-old racing this year in the hobby stocks. I think that's Matt Hudson's son.
Yep.
So that'll be an interesting for a 14-year-old to race a hobby stock this year. But I always look forward to seeing the new stuff and seeing how it goes. And it's exciting. I definitely was negative towards last week. I really didn't think we were going to race this week. I've gotten used to the disappointment in the month of April because it seems like every single year in the month of April it drives me nuts because I'm teaching during the week and we're going outside for PE and we're doing all this stuff and it's beautiful during the week, and then right when the weekend hits, rain. Yeah. So it's just like, I just wish Mother Nature would say, hey, let's rain all week during the week and then let's just make it nice during the weekend. But hey, that's life. So Cole, I know we got some things planned for announcing this year. I know you're probably looking forward to announcing. Tell me some things that you're excited for as being an announcer for your second year here. So,
well, I'm just looking forward to getting a full season under my belt. I joined halfway through the season last year, but being here last year, learned a lot of the faces. When I would go down in the pits and hang out with John, I wouldn't really get to know a lot of the compact, a lot of the hobby stock drivers, and even a lot of the B-mod drivers. So it's nice when you can learn everybody's face and their number, and so it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. And earlier you were talking about all the new wraps down there. Another thing too, a lot of our regulars, you were talking about new faces. A lot of our regulars have new cars, so it's going to be interesting tonight to see who prepares the best.
Especially in our A modified division, we have several of our top notch drivers in updated chassis, different chassis brand, and we'll be mentioning that throughout the night as we're announcing and let you guys know, for those of you that are here, what they're driving. And I think most of the information, but we'll miss some of it. But looking forward to see how that all shakes out. For example, Jesse Dennis went to Marshalltown again last night. He started 15th in the feature, passed 10 cars and got 5th, and that was against 27 cars up there at Marshalltown. So that was a pretty good night for him. I know he's going up there on Friday nights right now just to shake down the car. Again, there's not a lot of places to race around here on Friday nights now with I-80 being gone. So that's just another prime example of a guy who's changing his equipment. He talked about that last week. We've also got a couple new guys in stock cars. I know we got Rick Barton moving up actually from a B mod to a stock car. We've got I think a name Dominic Sexton out of Villisca going to race Curtis Gant stock car. I know that thing's been over there for a long time. He's had that for a while, so we're going to see how that goes with him. I know we got a couple youngsters in the B mods. We've got Dalton Davis. I know he's super nervous right now. He he talked to me last night. He's like, man, I'm nervous. He's like, I'm gonna have the butterflies sitting in staging, but he's one of them that's gonna be new. And I also have heard a name. I heard Jace Peterson bought a B mod too. So I don't know if he's gonna be here tonight or not. But
well, I'm sure Dalton will be fine. You know, I got to hot lap John Kinzer's car one year, and I was that same way. I was so nervous, but when you pull out on that track and it gets real, I think you kind of get focused in, and I'd assume he'll probably start at the back of his heat, just go get some solid laps.
You got 2 or 3 guys that are double doing it out there too.
Yeah.
Yep. We got Austin Paul racing a B mod and an A mod this year. There's also some talks that there's going to be maybe a couple modified drivers racing some stock cars and vice versa. I'm not gonna mention any names right now because I think they want to keep that on the down low. But there's going to be some swapping of cars sometimes and things of that nature. So it's going to be interesting for sure. But again, we're just looking for a consistent car count again this year. I think that's what we're most nervous about is we're always very curious to see how many cars we're going to get on a weekly basis. Obviously, the first night we've got increased purse. Boone's not racing. We're going to have extra cars here tonight. We know that. But as the season progresses into May and June and when it starts getting hot out and people start getting super busy in the summertime, how many cars are we going to get on a weekly basis? Again, last year we averaged right around in the mid 80 mark, which was a very respectable car count for sure. As everybody knows, this is a business and we're trying to we try to make money every week and keep this place going. So for those of you out there that know race car drivers that are always looking for a new place to race and looking for new places to go, please mention us because we are always welcoming new drivers in. It just takes a simple temp license through a NASCAR and you get to race. So it's pretty simple. So I think that's what I'm most nervous about is that consistent car count piece. I'm not worried about our local guys. I know we're going to have a chunk that shows up every week. I'm talking, getting new guys in, kind of like an Austin Paul who showed up 2 years ago, fell in love with it, and now he races here weekly. We want that same song and dance over and over and over again. So
that's all done by putting on a great facility we have, and Logan with the track prep we have, and the smoothness and the consistency we have week to week and week in and week out. Shift gears real quick. Those of you that can see us on our YouTube channel, I have my little sign right here on my computer. I hope you can see that.
Vanna White hairless.
Yeah. So what we're going to hit up real quick is the Advance My Track challenge. We've been a part of this for 3 years now. We got 3rd place last year. We're trying to go for 1st place, and it takes you fans to vote for us to do that. So go to Advance My Track Challenge. Make sure you go there. Go to our website. There's a link on there also. But you can vote up to 5 times a day on any technology email. Any email
email.
I couldn't get my word out.
Yeah,
any email you have. So if you have 4 or 5 emails,
it's much easier on your mobile device too because
it saves it on
these
there.
New mobile devices save your information. So all you have to do, and then you can also copy and paste too.
Correct.
So
very simple to do with your 5 times weekly, every day. And then, like I said, if you have more than one email address, make sure you do use it.
I actually created 3 emails just for this, and that's all I use it. I mean, seriously.
That's the game we have to play to win.
Right.
We're going against a lot of big tracks throughout the nation, and what the neat part of it is we've made the top 6 the last 2 years since we've done this, which we think is phenomenal in itself, and we ended up getting 3rd last year. So whoever gets 1st can no longer run anymore. So hopefully we can start climbing that ladder, go to 2nd or 1st this year. With your help, that's what it takes. We can't push that enough for you to go to Advance My Track Challenge. Go to our website, go to Advance Auto website, anywhere you can. I know there's on Twitter and all the information. I know NASCAR puts it out there to vote for your track, but the only one you should be concentrating on is the very first one on the list, which goes alphabetically, and that's Adams County Speedway. So, and Dirt Track Nation people out there, we're one of the few dirt tracks left out there. So that's the other neat part about it. We want to show these asphalters that the dirt's king. So that's why we need your help to vote. We want to go from 3rd place to 1st. So we're going for $50,000, and like I've always said, we're a huge nonprofit organization. Everything we make here goes right back into this facility. So, and that's made it what this is in the 38 years I've been here. So you can see all the improvements, and I can sit here and talk all day what we've done that period of time, but it's just neat to sit back and think of that. But once again, we need your help to vote for us. Go to Advance My Track Challenge. Vote for Adams County Speedway 5 times a day. We sure appreciate it if you could do that.
One thing that really shocks me is, Cole, our geographical area here is quite low populated, is it not?
Yeah, I mean,
compared to some racetracks.
Yeah, we're in a pretty small town. Yeah, you definitely, some of the tracks you see on that list, they're in big cities. So I mean, yeah.
I mean, one of them I think of is like Alaska Fairbanks. That is a racetrack where, what else is there to do in Alaska besides that and snowmobiling, and I don't know what they do in Alaska. Fish. I don't know what they do in Alaska, but we're competing against tracks like that where there's hundreds of thousands of people, and that shows the amount of support that we have for our racetrack here. It's quite remarkable how we can compete with these big racetracks, because I don't think people actually realize some of these racetracks that we're going up against, and the amount of publicity that these tracks get compared to us. I mean, we are in the least populated part of the state of Iowa, and the state of Iowa is not a populated state the way it is. So it's quite remarkable the amount of support that we get and the amount of people that actually do this for us, and we really appreciate it. So once again, we're looking for that goal this year, and it also helps us helps the publicity and putting us on the map, and people actually talk about the Advance My Track Challenge, and big thanks to Advance Auto Parts for doing that too. There's not a lot of sanctioning bodies out there. I'm not going to mention the other one that our rival sanctioning body, but NASCAR does a lot for us, and they do a lot behind the scenes for us that a lot of tracks and a lot of drivers and a lot of fans don't know. I mean, there is so much that NASCAR does. I mean, look at this facility we have. This facility would not be what it is without NASCAR. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, with their help, it's helped a lot. So the point fund they put up for drivers, it's a huge deal. Over $15,000 a year in point fund. That's the other big thing. And they help us with all of our signage. They help us with advertising. They help us with paint. They help us with, there's just so many things they help us with. And we were very, very honored to have them help us with, we're getting brand new radios this year. So they're helping us with those too, and they'll be in next week. So that was another huge thing that just surprised the heck out of me, that they offer a grant every year, and we didn't win, but they said, hey, we're going to help you out anyway. So that was a neat thing that they did.
And
so
I was listening to NASCAR radio, and there was a NASCAR representative on there, and I loved what he said. He said, if we don't get back to the roots, if you let the roots die, the tree dies. So, I mean, obviously they're talking the big picture at NASCAR, but NASCAR wants to focus on these roots racetracks where, guys do this as a hobby. And I mean, that's what keeps it going, So I love that saying when he said that. And
well, and I really appreciate when you look on TV and you watch these NASCAR races, you got guys like Clint Boyer, came from dirt track grassroots racing. Tony Stewart, same thing. You got Kyle Larson, for God's sakes, one of the biggest names in the sport of racing. Where did he get his start? Dirt track racing. Without the grassroots, racing will die.
Dale Hart Jr. is showing that very much so with his show. So
right, and it's, I hate to say it,
deal.
but NASCAR and racing in general will die if places like ours are not supported. So
we lost a track in our area, and it affects everybody when that happens. Joe Koziski, great promoter he was and is, that he said that every time we lose a track, it affects all of us. So it really is. So so on top of that, they have you get ready to do your firing over there.
Yep.
So we're going to go and start working on our first commercial break tonight, and then we'll be right back here, and hopefully we have a few guests.
We do have a guest back
out here.
there.
So we're going to take our first commercial breaks, and we'll be right back here with our first guest. So we'll be right back here to Pitside Live.
Subscribe to the KCSI Radio YouTube channel today. Interviews, parades, events, contests, and more. Subscribe to KCSI Radio on YouTube and get notified every time something fun happens.
Even if it's been years since you graduated, your college team is your team for life. Well, you can have a Farm Bureau agent for life, and auto, and home, and business insurance. Imagine that. One insurance agent for everything. It's that simple. So get a Farm Bureau agent for life.
Contact Farm Bureau agent Elizabeth Davison in Clarinda and Shenandoah at 712-621-2878 for all your insurance and financial needs.
Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
No matter what your insulation needs are, Heartland Foam Insulators is your go-to company. From removal to blow-in to foam, they are ready to go to work for you in any type of building, whether it be an existing house, new construction, a metal building, commercial building, or a unique project. Call Heartland Foam Insulators today at 712-623-4515 or heartlandfoam.com.
One, two, three. There you go.
There we go.
All right, get ready.
Oh, buddy.
We are back live on YouTube here.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside Live on KCSI Radio, 95.3 on your dial. We are live at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. Yes, we are racing, folks. And if you can, those of you on YouTube Live, also you can see in the background the cars coming in the pits. And I tell you what, we're going to start off the new season with our first guest of the year on KCSI Radio and YouTube Live, Austin Paul, our B-Modified champion from last year.
Yeah, how's it going, guys?
Welcome
It's
back.
going, man. How's you had a quite winter. You went through a lot of different cool things. I'm sure you saw. I wish the banquet would have been the way it used to be before COVID, because I think you would have been.
Unfortunately, it's going to be again, but not. It wasn't for you.
I think you would have been absolutely amazed on what Charlotte had to offer for us.
You got to win again though to do that.
Yeah.
Well, you've got. Well, I heard the rumor is you said you're going to be done in July with the B mods, right?
Where'd you hear that from? What other rumors did you hear? Let's talk about rumors.
So here's the rumor I heard is I said you're going to be
great.
The rumor I heard was you're going to be racing A mod full time and you're going to be racing B mod till July. I'm like, well, if he's leading points, why would he quit racing the B mod in July? That doesn't make any sense. So that rumor's busted, folks. So he's racing two full classes this year. So tell us a little bit.
You're keeping a straight face this whole time, right? You're keeping a straight face.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about how much work that's going to be.
A lot. I mean, the sport mod we did not bring tonight because it's actually just not ready.
Okay.
Because I have a set requirement of if it's not ready 110%, we're not going to race it. It's just that simple.
Yep.
So I just focused a lot of the winter on the modified, put it together and everything like that, got it ready. And we have it now in the trailer here, so we'll see how it goes.
Have you had it out this year yet?
Yes.
You did?
Yep.
He went to CJ, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I saw some pictures on Facebook. It looks good. Dre did a great job on your wrap. I love the teal with the orange overlays. I'm a big teal guy. I don't know. I like that. It's different.
Yep.
And same chassis though, BHE.
Of course.
And it's GRT with the BHE. You know, they put that spin on it. I know you have no clue what I'm talking about.
No, that's awful for me. I don't.
But technology-wise, same, different, kind of the same from B mod to A mod. Kind of.
I learned a few things. Already having a track title in the A mod division.
Right.
I only knew so much, of course, because all I did was drive for the guy.
Yep.
But putting one together myself, so I knew the in and outs better that way. I learned a few new things. Yeah, definitely.
Gotcha. So. And it's we talked about it earlier with Cole. We've got quite a few modified guys that have changed chassis this year. Jesse Ennis went to a newer Skyrocket. I've got Coop going to a newer Skyrocket. It's a lot of you guys are going to be in different stuff. And for those of you that don't know this guy, he's not going to look rusty out there in an A modified because you've how many years have you raced an A modified? What number of year is this?
For a modified?
Yeah.
So this would be my second year. Because the first year I did it under IMCA, of course.
Gotcha.
And got Rookie of the Year and then track champion.
Gotcha. And that was at CJ, correct?
Yep.
And it's tell me, I want to pick your brain because I've never really asked this question before. I'm very curious. What is the difference between an A and a B? I know a lot of it is power, horsepower,
suspension, power.
Okay.
A lot more bars.
Gotcha.
More angles.
Gotcha. And it's
that's the gist of it anyway.
Right. And coming into tonight, excited, nervous, stressed?
This is my 19th year of racing. I'm still nervous.
Oh yeah.
Always.
You're going to be in that staging. You hot lapping tonight?
Oh, of course.
You're going to be in that
Always
staging and hot lapping. I'm sure the butterflies are going to be going, but I'm sure you're chomping at the bit to get out here. And this might be I think this is going to be the fastest you've probably ever gone in a modified, then, hasn't it?
Maybe.
Have you ever raced a modified anywhere bigger than this? No?
Oh, not really bigger than a half,
So it's
no.
probably gonna be
Not
the
other than Southern Iowa Speedway,
Right.
however you
Oski.
compared it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oski's got it's
So,
wider and
yeah.
slopier and things like that, but
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing you in it. I know I'm curious to see how you're going to do. Again, competition levels higher, you know that, but it makes it more fun that way because a lot of our A-mod drivers around here, you've seen them race. They've been racing together a long time, and they do a pretty good job of knowing what each other's tendencies are, and you're gonna have to learn that as well. But I'm sure you've watched enough of it to where I think you're gonna have a lot of fun out there.
Oh, I agree. Yeah. For sure.
You talked about, you're always nervous a little bit, but, as soon as you get strapped in and take that lap,
it's gone. The adrenaline kicks in. Yep.
So, it's good to have you back. It's always good to have a defending champion, but you're not going to be able to defend your title, obviously.
Unfortunately.
What's your plans this year? To be here full time and
full time in the modified, and then every now and then we'll have the sport mod with us.
Okay.
So,
and again, you're going to be racing for a premier track championship this year, which is a little bit bigger of a feat. We also got our state points on the line too through modifieds as well. So that's some more money through NASCAR that you're going to be going for this year. So you got a little bit more on your plate. But again, obviously your funds are going to be a little bit tighter this year because you've got two cars to maintain. I'm sure. The lady up here, she's recording you. I'm sure she's probably noticing the bank account's going to be a little bit more of a gap. You think?
No.
You're not stressed out at all, are you? No, not at all. So, but again, you drive from the. I know you live in Des Moines, but the car drives from the Newton area, and for those people who don't know, that's a long pull. And you've had some drama in the past with your pull. I remember last year. What was that story? You came. Where was it at? Anita?
Yeah, lost the transmission.
Yeah. And I remember Jeremy Haupt came up and got you, and they brought it down on an open trailer and things like that. So not only is it the stress of bringing the car to the racetrack, it's also getting from point A to point B every week.
That's why we leave early.
Yeah.
It paid off that night because we made it just in time for the heat races.
Right. So. And I know again. What you do, a lot of people I don't think realize the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes. I know you strive yourself on getting better and better every week, and I think that shows with your driving ability. There's so many drivers out there who think they're doing it correctly, but they don't really understand what actually needs to go into it.
I know I tracked my hours last year actually in the shop, and I averaged about 25 hours a week maintaining the car alone.
Right.
So that just entailing, from to back, up to down, I think being a Lexus technician full-time actually helps make things that much more technical, working underneath engineers and other technicians.
And learning and seeing that stuff. I know I've helped some of my friends in the past too, and I've noticed that you really have to get down all the way to the nuts and bolts because one little bolt coming out can cause you thousands of dollars. So it's very tedious work sometimes, especially the class that you run with A mods, the amount of or A mods and B mods, the amount of technology that goes into these cars is beyond ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't think fans understand that.
You're moving a bar you got your bird cage, you're moving a bar from here to here 2 inches, and the car is just going to drive completely different.
An eighth of a turn in a trailing arm is a huge difference.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, even Cole talks about even on iRacing, things like that, the amount of stuff you can do on iRacing, that's not even comparable to what these guys can do in real life. I mean, there's so much that goes into it now. It's not like it used to be back in your day of racing where you just put her on some tires and you go, right? That back in the old days.
Leaf spring chassis.
Yeah.
Just put a belt around the door and make sure it stayed shut, and
put some duct tape
roll
on
cage
it.
is pretty important, But yeah, a lot of them older than me did that stuff. So anyway, but you talk about the hours you put in, and and we're not getting to that point, but it takes a lot of people to help you too. I mean, you have a pretty good group that's there all the time. 'Cause I think you have a few that are here in this area, live in this area to help you, but they probably don't drive up there, do they, to help, or do they sometimes? Or
there was a couple that actually came up. At the beginning of January, and when we were building the body on the car. And it was, just sort of an afternoon activity just for fun, hang out. We got to know each other better, got that much closer, so we can better understand, better friendship.
Well, I know one of them.
If you work better together.
One of them I know if he came up, I feel sorry for him. No, anyway, just kidding. Sorry.
What, Rod?
I like giving Rod a hard time.
Rod.
He's been around here a long time.
Yeah. For sure, huge help.
He was back here, I think, when the Confederate Army was still going with the Union.
No, he's.
I gotta give.
He's younger. I taught him. He's younger than me, so yeah. It's but he's. I grew up in Nottoway, and I was always down at Hampel shop all the time, and Rod was a long time we're down there. So it's just those guys and seeing them guys. But it's great with that camaraderie and the friendships you meet, and they're lifetime friendships usually after that too. But yeah, it takes a lot of people to help you, and that's a neat part of it if they're able to drive up there and help you once in a while.
For sure.
So
it takes a lot of stress probably off you when people are willing to put in the time.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because it's nice to have the extra hands. No, because I'm very technical. So it's like
that's just one more opinion.
Measuring is a big deal to me, and how you measure.
And that's just one more opinion, right, to go against, right? I get what you're saying.
It's not that we really go against. It's just, I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like, if I do it myself, I know for a fact it's right, sort of thing. Not that I doubt anybody, because I don't. If they're on my team, I trust them 100%.
Sure.
Right.
But I just like to make sure that much more in depth. Right. It is correct. I'm not going to have to worry about it. Mm-hmm. We haven't had anything fail while we're out on the track, and I can't even tell you how many years it's been. So we've always had the maintenance program very high.
Wood for you here,
yeah, thanks.
But so tell me a little bit about anything different this year with the team. Have you added anything new, anything different? Same equipment, same stuff?
Modified.
Well, other than that, is there anything different that you're doing this year that you might try something new this year with anything with setup? Any new goals for you this year besides just the?
Wouldn't you like to know setup stuff, huh? Who are you working for?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. Right now,
he's asking for secrets. What's the deal?
I wish I understood more about setups because there's so much science that goes into it.
There's chassis schools.
I know, and isn't that crazy?
It blows me away the amount of people that don't attend a chassis school when it's only a few $100s.
Right.
Because I know there's a couple guys that I help that don't come here and they have sport mods, and it's like I would rather go to a track where you can practice because you can learn so much more at a practice than you can on normal race night.
Right.
Because you're not willing to try things on a race night.
Right.
To the full extent, of course.
Yep.
Like you could.
And that's why it's so frustrating for us every year because it seems like every year our practice always gets flipping rained out. And I know that practice night means a lot to a lot of people.
But we've had some guys ask about doing some practice
right
here on Sunday, and it's definitely probably going to happen because we're talking about it.
Yeah, that'd be great because then we don't have to rent out the track.
Correct. There's guys that, and I know there's groups out there that would do that by themselves, but it's like something we think we should probably look at doing ourselves, obviously.
That'd be nice, yeah.
So we know there's that need out there just for what you're exactly saying. Is you can't test and tune on a race night, so it's pretty hard,
Yeah.
I mean,
especially
not a whole lot.
Well, when drivers are in your situation where you're racing for a championship, right?
Right.
You can't. You take chances, but
not
you also
big ones.
Right. You have to have your head on a swivel, and you got to have that stopping point that says, you know what, it's just better if I just stay where I'm at and just take it where it comes. So, and I think that's what sets drivers like you apart from others, is because you know how to balance. You know where to take chances and when to not take chances. And I think that's what sets our big NASCAR drivers apart from a lot of these young guns, where, you know, the more seat time you get, the more experience you get, the more veteran decision making you get.
One thing I don't understand is, you know, there's a national champion here. There's several champions here. Those who are more middle field and back, like, go talk to those guys. Pick their brain, you know. They have nothing to lose. I don't understand that, you know, because I remember being in Oski back in, what, that had been 2015 or so. And, you know, when we cracked the top 5, that'd be great. That was a win for us. So, you know, I kind of got underneath Curtis Vanderwall there. He taught me how to actually drive a car for real, since he used to race the ARCA series and stuff like that. And it's like, I learned so much from him, you know. And it's just, I'm glad I did, because I probably wouldn't have gone where I am today because of it.
It's called being a student of the game.
Yeah, right. We talk to drivers every week, different ones, and every one of them say that. It's like they're always willing to help someone else out.
Right.
You know, Luke preaches it all the time. And I hear a lot of them say, "I'll help you till you beat me." You know, they'll say stuff
That's
like
what
that.
I was told.
Yeah. You know, it's funny that,
Understandable.
but it's the truth. They would rather have you be competitive as a competitor. You'd rather have them safe and know how their driving ability is and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'd rather them have a safe car and everything like that, because then if they're safe, I'm more than likely safe, and then I don't have to worry about them.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it also makes it more fun for you, because your competition level, they're getting up to you, and it makes you work harder too.
Exactly. You know, being one of the faster guys, it's not like I can learn a whole lot more without going to other tracks, of course, like we try to do, just to make sure we're still on the same level of other guys that we used to be before we came here.
Yep.
Right.
So,
and I know that you know that if you do win a championship this year in the modifieds, I'm sure it's going to mean a lot, because there's some modified guys down here that have been around here a long time, and they're strong. And I feel like that's probably motivating you a lot, isn't it?
oh yeah, you know, racing back at CJ, there was a pretty good stout guys, because, you know, you have, what was it, Denny Eckridge was one from time to time.
Yep.
Oh gosh, I can't. It was just
there's
a few guys from Davenport. It was just you had Caden Carter. I mean, that was a weekend thing from time to time. You know, racing sport mods where we came from, we were always against Brayton Carter and all them. Right. You know, we'd always be, you know, Brayton and I would always kid around. You know, if one of us started ahead of each other, it's like, well, we know who's going to be ahead of me then at the end of the race. You know, because if I was ahead of him, I'd more than likely get it. But if he was ahead of me, then he'd get it.
Right.
So it was just one of those fun competition, you know, friendly things.
Right. And this year we are going back to our 3-week point average this year, so it'll be a little bit different for you. You won't have to worry about starting.
Fine by me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something different. I know that's how many years did we do that, for God's sake? That was
3 or 4.
3 or 4. It was only 3 or 4. What did we used
Mike
to
started
use?
it.
Mm-hmm.
No, the 3-week point average.
Oh, that's all we ever used.
Yeah.
Well, back in my day, it was a 4-week point average. So,
Gotcha.
So yeah, for many years, it was a 4-week point average, and you did it by hand. It wasn't on a computer like we have now. So another old story. But anyway, you know, don't want to cut you off here, but I know we're gonna have other guests. But I always like to give you time to thank those people that help you, your sponsors, everything else, and so.
Yeah, you know, I can't thank my whole team enough. Everyone on it, just big thank you, especially for helping me, you know, whether if it was just texting or whatever, helping me put together the new car. But, you know, you got MJ's Comeback Bars, Spencer's Chop House and Tavern, Nottoway Ag Center, Tom Smith Farms, Motorsports Warehouse jumped aboard this year for us. So that was a huge help, because they supplied us with a lot of stuff at a great price. So that was pretty nice. Just, you know, Dynamic Drive Lines, all of them, just a big thank you, especially to BHE for giving me the opportunity to, you know, represent them and some of their equipment. So,
well, I'm looking forward to watching you. I know new wrap, new car, new you, it seems like this year. And I know the fans are going to be very curious to see what you're going to be like this year. And this is not your first rodeo in a modified, so I expect you to be strong off the bat. So I'm looking forward to watching you.
Now we got to work the bugs out of the car first, so we'll see how it goes.
Laps.
So, 3 laps.
Yep, you'll get 3
No
laps.
problem.
You'll have
Plenty.
3 laps.
3 laps and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
No, Austin, appreciate
No
you
pressure.
coming on, and Good luck tonight, and good luck for the year.
Thanks.
Thank
Go
you.
get 'em, man.
All right. That was Austin Paul, your reigning B-modified champion, switching to an A-mod this year. Like he said, he's going to be part-time with a B-mod this year as well, but we really look forward to that. So we're going to kick off another commercial break here, folks, and we'll be right back here with our next guest on KCSI Live.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank, here to help as you plan for the next chapter of your life. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, equal.
Furniture, appliances, mattress sets, lift chairs, bedding, recliners, and more. S&S Appliance, your hometown furniture store in Clarinda, just received a large shipment of appliances. They have a huge selection of stoves, refrigerators, chest freezers, and microwaves. And if you need a mattress set, they have them. Plus bamboo sheet sets. They offer full service from start to finish with competitive price guarantee. S&S Appliance also offers delivery and installation. Stop by S&S Appliance on the square in downtown Clarinda. Furniture, appliances, mattress sets, lift chairs, bedding, recliners, and more.
This is Josh with Shore Motor Company in Clarinda. We want to be your GM dealer. We have highly qualified and trained technicians ready to work on your vehicle. Anything from recalls to warranty work and beyond, we are your GM dealer. Our service department is open 6 days a week for all your service needs. We even have an express lane for those no-appointment quick oil changes. Visit our website at shoremotor.com to request an appointment or give Mike or Amanda a call at 712-542-6581. We are your GM dealer. Shore Motor Company, just south of the square in beautiful Clarinda.
Just as your local State Farm agent teams combine good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. This is your local State Farm agent, Dave Carball, and we promise to deliver the service you deserve at the price you want. My State Farm team will help you mix and match things perfectly. Call us today at 712-623-5639 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
All right.
Welcome back, race fans, to Pitside live from Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. We're halfway through our show tonight. Things are flying by. We're back here with our next guest, our reigning compact champion, with our new sponsor this year, the Floating Vine Compacts this year, John. John Berg's here. Welcome, John.
Thanks for having me, guys. And this definitely ought to be a pretty new experience doing that.
Yeah,
this with the YouTube world. Hello, everyone.
Out here in the YouTube world, plus on KCSI Live, we've had 62 views so far, which is not too bad. We need to figure out also how to get some comments in here. I'm sure people will
we'll work
ask
on that.
Yeah, that's going to be coming down the line because
we have that ability.
I would love to have people come in live to ask you questions while we're doing it. It'd be kind of cool. But well, John, you've had quite the off season. Now you are our reigning champion. Is it the same mentality? Are you more nervous? Are you more confident now that you've got a target on your back now?
I mean, we were kind of well aware of what we're probably going to be stepping into this year, but our approach is just going to be the same as it has been since I first got behind the wheel back in 2017. Just go out there, just go put forth our best effort, and wherever we end up is wherever we end up.
Hey, that's a good mentality to have. I mean, it's pretty simple. So I'm sure we're going to have some new drivers in the compacts. We seems like we do every year and things like that, but you're also going to have some old faces. You got your friend Brian back this year racing. But again, same equipment, same everything this year. Have you changed anything? Let some fans know what you're doing this year.
We're still in the same car from last year, and like I told people, off season it was pretty much that like that one clip from Talladega Nights where Ricky Bobby's like, I'm not sure what to do with my hands. Because literally...
Ricky, just put them down at your side. Just put them down at your side.
Yeah, because pretty much about any work that was, all the work that had to be done with the car, if an ambitious guy was really going at it, 2 days tops is all was need done. But during the off season, I was not really feeling that ambitious. But it felt kind of nice, just kind of.
So have you had it out this year?
No. About the only time it ever got out was out of the garage, maybe once or twice.
Did you clean it?
Oh yeah, I cleaned it.
Okay. I didn't know if there's some dust on there from a couple cobwebs. I didn't know how that worked or what was going on. So, but from when you started, John, to where you're at now, it's night and day difference. I remember when you first started, you were just hoping to finish a feature, and now you are a defending track champion. Tell me a little bit about how the mentality goes into each race now. How has your mentality changed from when you first started to where you're at now?
Actually, what's kind of more surprising, it really hasn't really changed all that much. Because what would be the best way to say this? I knew for a fact that we weren't going to try to set the world on fire and go out and win every single feature out here. We know back then we knew there was guys that had better equipment than us, and even today, everybody's going to have their good nights and bad nights. So we just pretty much just focus on not coming in with this attitude like, oh, we're going to win. You just watch this. I just pretty much say we're just going to come here, go put forth our best effort, and whatever we get at the end of the day is what we get at the end of the day. That's all we can really ask for, and so does all the people that help us out on the car.
Yep. You know, most track champions, and you learned, is consistency is the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Absolutely.
being consistency every week, have consistent finishes, top five, stuff like that. So, yeah, obviously you're going for wins, but, you start off the season, and, every driver, I'll ask this, but they all say the same thing, I don't think about points at first, but, and I understand that, you really don't. They just kind of fall where they may. But as the season progresses and you're up there in the top, that's when you really start thinking about it, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. pretty much about that point about like mid-late July. That's when the points thing really starts taking full precedence. Right. But also the other side of that coin is you also want to try to still enter those races with the same mental focus.
Yep.
It can be hard, but it's doable.
Sure.
Right, and I'm sure you're excited for this year for sure. I'm excited to see you out there again. You're a fun driver to watch and things like that. But I know Brian's going to be going for you this year. I know that. But you guys have gotten pretty good friends, and you guys are. I know you guys help each other out. But I hope to see some more guys starting to step up here this year and give you a little bit more run for your money, because it makes it more exciting that way. You and Brian kind of went down to the last couple nights there, and it makes it more exciting for the fans that way. But I'm hoping that we get some new guys to step up to challenge you guys a little bit more, because it makes you better as well as a driver. And again, we're going to a three-week point average this year, so that's going to be a little bit different too. But I know in compact restarts, sometimes it doesn't really matter where you start, because sometimes you guys just fan out like it's like 5 wide to the front stretch. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. But I know I'm looking forward to seeing you. But tell me some things you did over the off season. Anything? Did you do anything with the car? Did you I don't know? Did you go to any stuff where try to learn new things? Anything like that? Or did you just kind of just wait for the season to start?
About all we really did with the car was service it and beat a few of the dents out. And I know we were looking at a couple of different nights towards northern Iowa we were going to possibly go at, but Mother Nature had other plans, or we had some other stuff going on. So we just pretty much turned our focus on for tonight.
And sure. So is your plan just to be racing here? You look at some other tracks once in a while, or what do you think you're going to do?
As of right now, we're looking here full time, and we got and after tradition, we got a couple of specials at other tracks we're looking at as well. But it's just see how everything plays out and how ambitious I feel like going, because I know one of the specials we were looking at, I was looking at not till about mid-late October, and like it's like, do I really want to be that cold?
I know you went to Clay County last year.
Mm-hmm.
I really like that track, and I always look forward to seeing new our drivers go to different tracks. I'm always curious to see how our guys match up against other guys, especially guys like you, who's a track champion. So I strongly would be for it if you went and raced other places, because it makes me excited, because I just love watching our local guys race other racetracks, just to see how you do against other guys like a Shannon Malberg or guys like that who are you know top notch IMCA guys, to see how our compacts match up against it. And I know most of those compact guys aren't used to going as fast as you are. So one question I do want to ask you before we get you out of here is when you do go to those other tracks, do you feel like you're just going super slow because you're just going so fast here? Do you feel like you have so much more time to think?
Well, when we went up to Webster City a couple years ago, a couple of friends that I know through my time helping out with Paul Glendenning, because I know they do a lot of traveling all over the places to either whether it's with Paul for racing, or they just go on their own and go watch them racing. They told me that Webster City was, for the most part, kind of Corning 2.0 in a way, so that kind of helped me out there. And
always has been.
Yeah, and Clay County was a little different because they hadn't been to the track since they got reconfigured. I can't remember how far ago it was, but I know the only thing they told me that it slicks quick, and they were not kidding about that. And also trying to go off of a couple of videos that I would see on YouTube, and it was a little different, and I was just kind of glad we came up with a second place finish in that one, especially when you got someone like Katie DeVeers, that's pretty much a home track for her. And
Katie's a strong driver for sure. But well, John, it's been a long off season. I'm sure you're ready to get back at it, back to some normality here. I know this is kind of one of your comfort places, so tell us who you want to thank. Tell the YouTube world some important people in your life, and we'll get you out of here and get you going racing.
I have to interrupt you real quick, but I want to let people know we our hearts go out to you for your dad this past time. So we're really, sorry to have to say that. So glad that you're here.
We're here with you,
though,
man.
We're a big family that supports you with that respect too. So,
thank you. Yeah, it's been kind of a tough.
It'll be a different world, of course. Now.
Yeah, it's been a tough week with my dad's passing on Tuesday, but
I hope this down here will give you a little bit of a distraction towards that, and something fun to do tonight. I'm sure you're looking forward to that. So
and knowing the kind of guy that my dad was, he'd still want me to come here regardless, and I know that's what wouldn't he want me to do, and
he'll be watching, I'm sure. But who do you want to thank, man?
Well, definitely got to thank Berg Family Farms for being so supportive of me and my racing, and I can never thank them enough. Wicked Waste Design and Fabrication, Rusty Giles, Hunter Patrick, they built this car last year, and they did a great job on the build. Lennox Family Hardware, Glendenning Motor Company, the McIntosh family, Haley and Doolittle families. Let's see. The Ellispore Real Estate, SBR Performance, NRB Diesel, Creston Animal Rescue Effort, Heel & Son Auto Salvage, and definitely most of all my amazing wife Brooke for being beside me for the good days and the bad days we would have, and I can never thank her enough. And even though we're on the YouTube world, I'm not going to do that bit that Billy Rock rocked it at the banquet. He's like, my smoking hot rod.
I'll tell you what, that was impressive. You did that with no list.
That's what I was just saying.
People
Like,
can see us
look at
now,
that.
and
Look at that. You wouldn't even
usually
leave his
drivers
phone,
bring a
man.
big old list. So
yeah, the one time I didn't bring the list where it said on the bottom, not my wife, so I could show it to people.
Yep.
Well, I didn't really think about that till I got up to the door, and I'm like, oh, crap.
That was awesome, man. You did ad lib. You didn't have to look at no list. That was great. So,
well, good luck tonight, John.
you
We wish you luck. We wish you all the good, through this week. I know it's been tough with you, so God's with you there. But good luck tonight, and hopefully we'll see you down there in Miller Lite Taste
Thanks for
Greatness
being on the
Victory
show.
Lane. Hopefully you'll be talking to me tonight, right?
Go out there and defend your championship.
Right. Thank you very much, guys.
All right.
Thanks for having me on.
All right, that was John Berg, our defending champion with our floating vine compacts this year. We'll be right back, folks. We're going to take another commercial break, and we'll be right back here very shortly with our next guest.
Too busy at work to wait in a long line at Subway? Order online at order.subway.com. Simply register with your email and password and order away. You can also download the Subway app on your smartphone. Order up to 6 subs, salads, or pizza. Ready in 15 minutes once order is submitted. Also add chips, cookies, and drinks easily. And Subway's back to normal hours, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Order online at Subway in Red Oak, Clarinda, Shenandoah. Best Finish Auto Sales and Service is proud of the quality used vehicles they sell and their dedication to serve the needs of their customers. Whether it's your first purchase or one of many that you've had, you can count on their dedicated sales staff to make the best buying experience possible. They also offer financing on your vehicle purchase. Best Finish can also take care of your service needs, from oil change, brakes, alignment, air conditioning, to any body shop and repair needs. Stop by Best Finish Auto Sales and Service at 209 Sharp Street in Glenwood for all of your vehicle needs. Feeders Grain and Farm Supply in Corning, representing the most recognized and trusted brands in the industry, as well as locally sourced products. Stop by and see a full lineup of Purina products to handle all of your livestock needs. And if you need Sioux Steel Gates, they've got you covered. Browse the store and they're confident you'll find what you're looking for, or they'll order it in for you. Feeders Grain and Farm Supply in Corning, supporting all of 4-H and FFA members. That's Feeders Grain and Farm Supply in Corning.
Subscribe to the KCSI Radio YouTube channel today. Interviews, parades, events, contests, and more. Subscribe to KCSI Radio on YouTube and get notified every time something fun happens.
My ad stopped here on YouTube. We are back live on YouTube Live on KCSI. We got a new face here on the show with us. To my right, our defending Northland Oil Stock Car champion, Brad Derry. Or no, that's not Brad Derry.
Oh, wow.
That's our defending Chat Mobility Hobby Stock champion. You guys have the same, body type, so I didn't even look over. I've been paying attention. That's our Chat Mobility Hobby Stock champion. This is Luke Ramsay. Luke Ramsay, what is going on, my man?
Well, not much. We're here for another year.
Heck yeah, man. It's you've been racing, I think, more than most. I went up to Marshalltown a couple weeks ago and watched you. I was super excited to see you up there, and you were doing good. You were fighting with Eric Knutson and Eric Stanton and all those guys up there, and that Calvin Don't, man, he's got some speed on him too. But new car this year, huh?
Yeah, new car, chassis that was built there at our place, and Scott come down and started a journey of his life and build him on his own on the original jig that he started building them on, and actually the car that I've won the most races in was built on that jig, and he wanted to go back to it. He felt like it was better and smoother and felt like it built a better car, so that's what he did, and he's kind of perfecting them. And so we got out and we did some early racing and just making sure we got the car shook down so we didn't have any mechanical failures, and we've got the car dialed in pretty good, and I think we should be pretty good for here. I mean, this is kind of my home track, so I got a lot of laps around this place, so it'll be good to drive the car here because then I kind of know where we're sitting at and what to do.
And you've also got that backup. We talk about Buddy all the time. We always were like, all right, here we go, buddy. Here we go. Keep her straight. Keep her straight.
Yeah, but at Marshalltown, I thought you looked really good. I think a lot of times you just kind of got stuck behind some 3-wide battles. I think you had a lot of speed. I mean, I think you had speed to win the night we were there. But
oh yeah,
man, it's like, God, I can't tell you a week at Marshalltown where the hobby stocks aren't having a close race. But
it was a restart, like I think, happened, and,
yeah.
and I think you got, I can't remember what it was. You might have taken mid, and then Calvin got up by you, or something like that, and then you got passed by Eric Stanton, but then you passed him again. So, but again, like normal, I could really tell that you're trying to figure this thing out.
Yeah, a lot of part of the short track racing is kind of, when you got that preferred line and then you don't get the preferred line, you kind of got to hang out there because there's so much traffic to get through, and it's a lot tighter racing than it is on a longer track. I mean, you don't got as much time to room or work, and we've been struggling a little bit with getting that, but we've kind of made some adjustments. We've been up there the last 3 races in Marshalltown, and we've made some adjustments. Last night we really got the car turning well, and now I think we can move forward. We kind of know where we need to get the bite where we need it and what's going on there. So, I mean, that's going to help a bunch.
Yeah, and I know we talk about our Chat Mobility hobby stocks a lot and the competition that we have here. You got a good friend, Jeremy Purdy's racing with us quite a bit this year too, and that's one of the victories, right, that you guys built. You guys fixed it, right, from last year.
So kind of a funny story. There's a lot of people that think that Jeremy and I don't like each other, and I'm probably the first one that helped him out, and he's probably the first one that helped me out. That night he wrecked. It was a crazy night, and it's hard to watch.
Coming over the top of here. All right, get out of here. Go.
It's hard to watch somebody like that go through a wreck like that, and we went over and looked at it, and I think 2 weeks later, or maybe even that next week, his crew tore it apart, and it was sitting there in our shop for Scotty to fix, and Scotty got it all fixed back together. And to see the start to finish, pictures of that, and we're going to post some of that on Facebook. I just kind of wanted to get it to where it was, kind of let him have the glory of the new look, and then we can kind of use it for our advertisement too, because to see what that car was when it wrecked to what it is now is pretty unreal. I mean, he went through a nasty wreck. It kept him safe, and I think that's what he was the most happy about, was the car kept me safe, and there was no reason to go with anything different than that. And that was one of our most watched videos on XR that night. I remember you hear me screaming, and that was a wild one for sure. Yeah. Were you there that night?
I was not, but for those that don't know, like, when you take a car that's that beat up, I mean, how close can you get that to, say, like a brand new car off the jig?
That car is essentially a brand new car. Yeah. So, like, when something goes through that extensive of a wreck, you can pretty much see if it needs a stub or a horn, or straighten this, pull it with the frame machine, whatever you got to do to kind of get. But when you go through something that extensive, there's a lot of things that, Scotty was very thorough on, checking out the cage, making sure there was no cracked welds. I mean, he went through it like a brand new car. And matter of fact, he's like, I'm not going to let this car leave here until we pin it right back on the jig, right where it came from, brand new. And he welded it all back up, put a new stub under it, and he had it sitting right there on the jig, and the pins all dropped right in. It bolted right back down to the jig. And so essentially that car is just as straight now as it was when it was brand new.
Yeah, and I got to get this really quick. We're at the top of the hour. You're listening to KCSI Radio 95.3 on the radio, and you're here watching us on YouTube Live here. We're with Luke Ramsay here, and we're talking a little bit about Jeremy Purdy's wreck last year. And I know one of Jeremy's crewmates is actually one of my students, Chase England. We talk about racing all the time at school a lot. Sometimes I can't get him to stop talking during class about it. But you've got buddies racing your old car. And then you're racing that, and, just in case something were to go awry that night, you have Buddy's car as a backup, too, if you need it.
Yep.
Right?
Plus, we have the car that Buddy drove last year, the one
Gotcha.
that I won all the races in, so we still got it. It's probably never going anywhere.
The old pink machine?
The old pink machine.
That thing's been through the ringer.
I've got 120 or 30 races won just in that car, so
yeah.
And over half of them's been here.
That one's like sentimental value too.
Yes,
yeah?
yes, for sure. I got my first career win in that car, and it's still going around this track, and it can win a race tomorrow. So that's kind of cool to know that the same guys that built that car in 2012 built my 2023 car.
Right.
So that's kind of cool.
And that speaks to the driver and the maintenance of the car too. That to have something that lasts that long. And to be able to be fast that long, it's
don't get me wrong, it's showing its age, but
right. But it's impressive, because our hobby stock class, it's a very competitive class, and there's a lot of beating and banging some nights. But overall, you just show consistency, and I'm not really. I think it's going to be the same this year as well. Are you going into this year? Do you have a little bit different mentality? Are you the same? Going to kind of drive the same lines? What are you feeling so far in this car?
I'm going to drive the bottom this year.
Oh, that
I don't believe it.
I don't believe that.
Well, so it's a funny story. When Chubbs went up there to Marshalltown, when I was up there that night, Joey, his crewmate, texted me and said, "Hey, Chubbs wanted just to give you a screw you because he passed 4 cars on the bottom." So,
which in Marshalltown I have been a little better on the bottom, which is kind of a little different. But short track's totally different than here. My cars are pretty versatile here, and a lot of people don't see it because of the last couple years, but I've probably won more races off the bottom here than I have off the top.
Well, and I remember, a couple 3-4 years ago, you do a good job of in those last couple laps, especially in 3 and 4, if you need to go to the bottom and slide up, you just make it work sometimes. And
sometimes it takes a couple laps.
Right. You make your hayway sometimes on that bottom, but I know we say all the time, where's the 17 car? Here he comes on the top. And I know, like Dave Weed has said it before, you feel like you're blocking the top, but you still find a lane. I don't know what it is.
There was somebody that was we was talking to. I think I was talking to Tim Parrott that came up to test out his car here a little bit tonight. He said, "Have you ever been passed on the outside?" And I said, "Well, yeah, I have." He goes, "In Corning?" And I'm like, "Well, if they pass me on the outside in Corning, they're probably off the racetrack."
Mm-hmm. Well, I know turn 2 seems to be the most sketchy when you're exiting. I mean, you are got to be just right on the edge of going off.
And there's sometimes my right rear tire is off the track going down the backstretch. I mean, I've done that more than once and come back on as I'm coming into turn 3.
When I'm doing track prep here during the week, I always think of that tree back there. Has that tree back there ever made you nervous?
The night I went barrel rolling down the backstretch and landed about 5 feet from it.
Yeah, that.
Hey, let's not talk about that.
No, I tell you what though, there was a night last year that there was like a line of 6 cars up top, and I'm like, I don't know where Luke's gonna go. You just went around the outside. I'm like, I don't even know if there's room for it, but you made it. I couldn't believe it.
Dave Weeda literally told me one night. He's like, I literally told him, I said, "Why do you guys give Luke the top?" And he's like, "Well, honestly,
we don't think we are.
We don't think we are." So, it's just a comfort thing. I know you've raced here so many times to know what your limits are on the top. I feel like the foreign drivers that don't know this racetrack don't know they can even go up there.
I would say 90% of the people think that the top is the top, but they're probably 6 feet from the outside of the track.
Right.
But when you're going into that corner and you're carrying that speed going into the corner, 6 foot isn't very much.
Mm-hmm. And
6 foot's enough for a car to get through there, though.
I'm sure it's intimidating for some because there's no wall.
Sure.
But you're used to it so much to where you can just feel it and know that even honestly, you don't care if it's there.
Right.
So, but, well, it's 6:07. Driver's meeting is going to be coming up here. I don't have any other questions for you. I know it's going to be another year for you where you're going to be with us, and I'm super excited to see you again in a new vehicle. But I know you got some people to thank really quick before we get you on your way. So who do you want to thank? You brought a list, too.
Buddy and I have a huge list of sponsors, and, some of them are small sponsors, some are big, and it doesn't matter. It takes all of them for us to be here every week.
Yep.
We've had some new ones add on this week or this year, and the crew that comes to help us to bring the Army that we bring up here takes a lot, and there's a lot of time spent on that. So I'm just going to quickly go through the sponsors. Like I said, it's a long list. I'm sorry, guys, but that's just every one of them needs to be mentioned.
That's right.
Toll Farms, he jumped on this year. I'm kind of curious to see him in that brand new car down there.
It looks good, man.
So
that
car was put together in our shop. So.
I love Walleye's wrap. It's just classic.
I wasn't even aware he got a new car.
Oh, man,
dude, brand new.
Dude,
all right.
He told me, he's like, "Man, I've never had these new shoes before. It's gonna be nice."
He didn't want chrome wheels. He just wanted silver, and I went ahead and bought chromes and put them on there anyway. And then he comes back over and he says, "Can you get me 4 more then?"
I hope he's fast because he's fun to watch.
He's going to be fast. He's going to like it, car. Goodson family. Dally Post, Davison and Sons, TC Fabrication, 3S Services, Tri-County, KMJ, Swartz Plumbing, Radiant Dershide, Crest and Napa, Underdog Wrap and Designs, Brandon Salvage, Murphy Family Farms, Dynamic Drivelines, Ramsay Grinding, Chris Hogan, Finish Line Designs, Don's Body Shop, Rich and Judy O'Grady, Hawkeye Auto Salvage, True Farms, O'Reilly Oil Company, Darla's Dirt Fix Photos, LS Race Cars and Performance Parts, Baron Zag, Meharry Law Office, Alan and Lori Goodson.
You need to do this without a list. I would just, this would be impressive.
Hewlett and Sons and LT Farms come on with a new deal. I'm kind of excited to see them kids. I'm sure you guys have had their cracker mix before, so they supply us with some cracker mix every week for us to come to the races. So that's kind of a cool thing for them to, at least when we on the way to the track we can eat, and then afterwards we can celebrate with it too. So
there you go.
All my help, my wife and kids, Buddy and his kids, Jesse, Lewis, Andrew, Robert, Scotty, Daniel, Bobby Joe, Harley, Dad, Eric, Goody, Jeremy Reed, Kate and Hunter, Tim, Jeremy Swartz, Colton, Bubbles, JD, Tom and family, and then Bethany and Rev. You know, all them guys are about every week at some point they're helping me through the week. So I got to thank every one of them.
And you got a long list, and that right there just shows why you're so successful.
Yep.
You've got so many people that help you, and it started from the ground up too. I mean, you started from nothing, and look where you are today, man. And we wish you good luck, and go get them in that new car, and we'll see where the night takes you, and we'll see where the year takes you. Hopefully, you're talking to me later, huh?
Sounds good, guys.
All right, that was Luke Ramsay, driver of the Chat Mobility Hobby Stock number 17. We're going to take another quick commercial break, come back with our last guest of the night, and we'll be right back with you here on Pit Side Live.
There we go.
What if we could harness the power of the sun by using the earth to transform the way we use energy? Water furnace geothermal systems are simply the most efficient way to keep your family comfortable. Winter or summer, day or night, rain or shine, without burning fossil fuels, giving you the freedom to focus on life.
Call Camlin Mechanical or visit camlinmechanical.com for your water furnace needs today.
Even if it's been years since you graduated, your college team is your team for life. Well, you can have a Farm Bureau agent for life, and auto, and home, and business insurance. Imagine that. One insurance agent for everything. It's that simple. So get a Farm Bureau agent for life.
Contact Farm Bureau Agent Elizabeth Davison in Clarinda and Shenandoah at 712-621-2878 for all your insurance and financial needs.
Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Property and Casualty.
Are you interested in starting a career instead of just getting another job? Well, hop on over to Fresco System USA and let us help you find the one for you. We offer competitive wages, benefits starting day one, and so much more. You can pick up an application at 2026 Fernwood Avenue, find us on Indeed, Better Team, and Facebook, or call 712-623-8100, extension 6659. Spring into action and join the Fresco team today.
All right, welcome back, race fans, to Pit Side Live here at the Adams County Speedway on 95.3 KCSI and on KCSI YouTube Live. We're here with our Northland Oil Stock Car Champion. We're coming down to the checkered flag here. That was our last commercial break. Bradley Derry, what is going on, my man?
Just a lovely day to be at the track.
That's right. You've been around the area. I've been excited to see where you've been. You've been up there at US 30. Did you go up US 30 or
no? We went to Norfolk.
Norfolk, that's right. Yeah, same area.
Yeah.
And then you've been doing some dirt crown stuff and kind of shaking things out a little bit. Tell us a little bit about how the car's doing and how comfortable you are so far.
Well, we got a new car this year. Last year we destroyed one, unfortunately, down in 1 and 2, and we took some parts off that car, which was about nothing, and put over onto a new car, and a new B&B 2023, and we've been trying to shake the bugs out of it here last couple weeks, and that Dirt Crown deal is no joke. I mean, you get 40-plus cars show up.
It's a gauntlet.
There's 40-plus cars that's won features in that field. So, I mean, it's tough racing. We've learned a little bit. We've learned what I didn't like, and I think we're headed toward the right direction with our knowledge and Paul's guidance helping us, steering us in the right direction. I hope we're getting it close to being on board. So
I know you can't get much better of a guy to work with than Paul. I know a lot of guys run these B&Bs, and he's a really good supporter for a lot of his drivers. And any questions that you have, I know he does a great job of helping out. I know that from experience with Tanner now racing a B&B in the hobby stocks. He texts him at least once a week about questions, and he does a really good job of helping you out.
Yeah, and from a chassis builder standpoint, I mean, Paul's on the phone with me either Sunday or Monday morning saying, hey, how'd this work? Let's try this. Let's do this or whatever. We're just kind of an R&D guy for him because our new car is actually kind of a prototype for him. So we're trying some new stuff out for him.
Interesting.
And going with that. So.
And I know we've been watching some Dirt Crown stuff. We watch races all the time and things like that. I know stock cars are my favorite class. They always have been. They always will be. Again, we're looking for more drivers. Again, our stock car count is not the greatest, but we know that we are. One of our goals is for tradition this year. We got some things in the works. Hopefully, we're going to get some more guys there. Possibility of a Dirt Crown coming down.
Right.
Things like that. We'd love to see guys like that.
And it would be one whale of a show.
Man.
I promise you it would be. I mean, every week it is. I mean, it's just a bunch of top caliber drivers, not taking anything away from our weekly guys here at all, but I mean, it's just a good show.
Oh, it's a gauntlet, man. I know. I mean, when you get guys like Murdy's that come over from Iowa, you've got all those big Nebraska guys. It's so fun to watch. Whenever there's a Dirt Crown race, I'm always there to watch it because it's always a great race, and I love watching you race with those guys because I told our local guys this all the time. I love seeing our local guys against those guys to see how we shake out.
Yep. And like I say, we're working the bugs out of this one, so hopefully we got her dialed in for tonight. So we'll see how it goes. But
now, are you guys going to try to follow that tour as much as you can?
We missed a race at Deschler because we had conflict of interest at home or whatever stuff going on.
It's a long pull too for you.
And it is, but most all them pulls are 3.5 hours to go there, so it's just the way it is. But they got some Dirt Crown racing going on next week at Stewart and Clay County, I think, is where
I
it's
love
at
Clay
next
County.
week.
That's a fun
I've
track.
never been there.
It's usually
like a
really
great track.
It's usually wide. It's usually just slick smooth from top to bottom. So
that's in my wheelhouse, so we'll be good.
Yeah, that track's fun to watch. I wish that track was closer to home because
it's a 4-hour pull.
Right. They usually race on Monday nights up there, and I usually buy it because I love watching the Spencer. But so it sounds like to me, Brad, that you've got some Dirt Crown stuff you're doing. What else you planned on for the season? I know Saturday nights here are usually your go-to for Saturday nights. Same thing, changing ideas.
Well,
what you got going on?
One of our favorite tracks we raced in the Midwest, as we all know, the former I-80 Speedway, it closed down. So I think we're going to make our home on Friday nights at US 36 in Osborne, Missouri, and then Dirt Crown stuff here.
I have not been down there yet.
It's a mini Eagle. Well, it's about the same size as Eagle, but
as high banked as Eagle.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But I can't honestly say that because I've never raced on Eagle. I've been to watch, but I've never raced there. So, but it looks like it's about the same.
Eagle usually puts on good races, but for the fans that don't know, that's down in Osborne, Missouri. So you can catch him down there on Friday nights. It looks like. But I did see you went down there. How'd you do?
We ended up 7th. The driver's having issues this year. We go forward, and then all of a sudden we're going backwards. So I'd blame that on the driver, not the car. So that's the way that goes. But
that's a tough thing to do for drivers.
Blame
that on themselves.
Beatrice last whenever we raced there, we got up to 11th, and then I decided to go around the top, and then I'm like, well, this is really smart. So then we started going backwards. So the time you get back in line,
I think you're right on the same boat as me. How depressed we are that I-80's gone because.
But you got to look forward to bigger and better things.
Right.
I mean, not better things, just progression, I guess. So, Atchison County Speedway was one of my favorite places to race. It was a 5th mile, highest bank track I ever raced, and it left too. And then one of my other favorite tracks was Iowa State Fairgrounds, and it left. So,
And again, we're talking about this. It's because of guys like you and all these guys we've had on this show tonight of why this place has not turned into that.
Well, we don't want that.
Right, we don't want that, and that's why we really appreciate people like KCSI for putting us on the map and publicizing our sport and our racetrack. Brad is one of the main guys that cares a lot about this place, and him and Scuba do a really good job in our stock car class of promoting it. And you guys are always talking, I know, trying to get guys to come down all the time.
Absolutely. We'd like to see, 20 cars weekly here again. It would be an awesome feat to see that again. If anybody's out there that's encouraged to come race a stock car, just try it out. I mean, it's fun.
And
for the most part, our class is IMCA based rules. So, I mean, if you're on IMCA, you'll be good here.
And again, it's something that we've done some research, trying to figure out what can we do, to get stock cars. A lot of it is just our geographical area, just where drivers are located, where these guys are from. There's not a lot of stock car local guys in this area that would come here instead of going elsewhere. It's just kind of how it is.
Right.
And unfortunately, that's the cards we're dealt. But we really appreciate the ones that show up every week, like you and you guys got a little clan down there. I know you guys got a couple. You got a couple veterans to your left. You got old Bissell and Cooney. So
good guys.
I know it's a good time down there. You guys always have a good
fun.
time.
We have fun.
I know after the races, fans, if you want to stop down by, that's one of the. There's like sections of the pits. There's your group. There's Luke's group. Then you get down here to Wiggins. You got Carg's group. Then you got us down here in the far corner. It's like we got like these.
It's like a college campus.
Yeah,
you just got multiple parties.
We got like a frat party here and a frat party here and a frat party here. So, but we always have a good time after the races. So if you want to stop down on by, and Brad will sign something for you, and I know Scuba's got some new T-shirts. Are you going to get some T-shirts
That's
this
what
year?
I was going to talk about. Yeah, we're getting some new T-shirts made from the Painted Pug there in Bedford.
Cool.
And he's doing that for us, and they should be here in a couple weeks or have our orders out pretty soon anyway.
Sounds good. So it sounds like some new T-shirts in the works too. And kids, we don't have the souvenir stand open tonight, but when we get those flags, you can get them signed, things like that. But I know you're probably looking forward to this year and just another year here in Corning, new car. But tell us some people that you want to thank. Tell us some people that get you here every week. I know it takes a lot. It takes a lot of time too. And
he's in the 21st century, unlike Luke. He's got it on his phone.
Well,
there was no way that was Luke's handwriting. Did you see that handwriting? That had to have been Sam's handwriting.
Oh man, it's crazy the amount of time it takes because in our business that we do at Dairy Construction, we're a dirt business, so we work tile, terrace, excavate, and that type of thing. Well, it's typically a daylight to dark project, so I don't get to work on my car a lot of times till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night until about 1 or 2 in the morning.
That's
depending.
A long day.
It's my day every day, so it takes commitment to work on these things, and it's just. That's what it is, and I can't expect anybody to help you when you're keeping those kind of hours.
Exactly.
So some of the people, we had some new sponsors jump on board this year. OSR out of Clarinda, they're a power line service, so they have a disaster or whatever. Mm-hmm. Basically, they call these people, they get people in place to take care of the down lines and where they need to put people in places. And then Victory Power Line Services, kind of their sister company. Same deal. They actually implement people to help do the power line stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a disaster, hurricanes, tornadoes, whatever.
Yep.
And then also we picked up Shore Motor Company there in Clarinda. Josh Wyman, he's been really good to us this year, and I'm just looking forward to having them on the side of the car. DW Race Engines, Dale Wooder, he builds a great power plant. Creston Napa, Steve, everybody knows Steve and Sarah up there, just great parts place.
Yep. One of our main sponsors here at the track, for sure. So.
And then Sleep's Tile Yard there in Bedford. Of course, the Painted Pug there in Bedford. And then Dairy Construction, our business, the tiling, terracing, excavating. And Mom and Dad with all their support. My brother Josh, he doesn't get to help every night, but the nights he does, a lot of times he ain't going home till 2 in the morning. We're working on stuff, and that makes for a long day, and I really appreciate him. And my smoking hot wife, Taylor, to tell you what, I couldn't do this without her support. She is a great supporter. Unbelievable.
Keeps everything in line.
Oh, yeah. My in-laws, Scott and Chris, and my kids, Meredith and Marshall and Justice. It's great growing up in the sport. I grew up in the sport. they're sitting there airing tires for you or trying to check the lug nuts or Marshall will run the impact gun. I mean, I just love teaching these kids this stuff because that's the future of our sport. And unfortunately, my kids don't have video games just because that's the way we are. But they're down here working on the stuff in the garage with me at night. And
that's how they learn.
Yeah. And I don't know if I said my daughter Justice, but Meredith and Marshall. And then the Gray family, Tyler and his whole family helps out, and Brody every time he gets a chance.
Looking forward to see Tyler racing in that car this year, too.
We've done a lot of updates to that. Look forward to seeing him.
He's been traveling with you, I know, a little bit. So
he sure has. And Paul Berger at B&B Chassis, I can't thank him enough. We're doing a lot of R&D stuff for him and just checking stuff out, and it'll be a good time. But I just can't thank it all. And I thank Adams County Speedway for giving us a place to race on Saturday night. I mean, been coming up here since I was 16. Racing, been coming here in the stands probably since I was in the second grade, so it's kind of home for me. So,
and we've always said, Brad, put 4 Hoosiers on it, you can drive it. So we look forward to seeing you again this year. You got some extra competition down here tonight. I see the Mafias here too, so you're gonna have some extra competition tonight. So we look forward, and hopefully you'll be talking to me later in Victory Lane.
Hopefully,
that's all right. The plan. That was Brad Derry, driver of the 37D North Little stock car. As we'll get him on his way here, we'll get his mic muted, and. You can go ahead. We're going to stay live here, so because we only got like 5 minutes. Good luck tonight, Brad. So, Cole, let's go ahead and wrap this up here. We got about 5 minutes left. I want to give a big thanks again to all our sponsors here, Pitside Live, Brower Home Improvement, Shore Motor Company, Heartland Foam Insulators, Farm Bureau Elizabeth Davidson, Aiken Building Centers, Best Finish Auto Center, Malvern Bank, S&S Appliance, State Farm, Dave Carbaugh, Maddox Roofing, Primrose Restaurant here in Corning, Farm Bureau Jake Gillespie out of Bedford, Fresco Systems USA, Subway, Campbell Mechanical, and Feeders Grain and Supply. We want to give all those sponsors a big thanks for sponsoring and allowing us to do Pitside Live here on 95.3 Country Sunshine area listening radio. We also want to give big thanks to the West family, Jerry Dietz, for helping us out doing all this. We would not be able to do this without them. So we really appreciate you guys, and you guys make it fun and very easy as well. And we really appreciate it. Cole, are you excited or what?
I'm ready. Looking on my race pass, we've got 84 cars checked in, 13 compacts, 21 hobby stocks, 12 stock cars, 20 B mods, and 18 modified. So a great modified turnout.
Yep.
Stock cars, obviously, like you said, a little lower than what we'd like, but still 12.
Yep.
I would assume have two heat races. So
we've got some modifieds here. We got Todd Shoot in the house. He's a big IMCA guy. We've got Jacob Murray, the Hartford Hot Shoot. He's here tonight. Ryan Jenkins. Those are some guys that don't usually show up a lot, and they're here tonight. So, again, 1,000 to win modifieds tonight. Busch Light crack a cold one tonight. Really looking forward to getting the night kicked off here. And got some fans filing into the stands. And if you're already here, we thank and appreciate you for coming. If you are on your way here, hot laps are going to get started here in about 3, 4, 5 minutes. Some compacts are already rolling into staging right now as we speak. Again, my dad couldn't be here for the rest of the show. He's doing race director stuff tonight, as our normal race director Billy Rock is in Lake Ozark tonight doing some MLRA stuff on Flow. But Cole, tell me a couple things that you're looking forward to tonight.
Well, I'm just excited to see some cars on track. I mean, looking at the track from here, it looks pretty good. So I've got some moisture in it. Obviously, trying to keep it wet because of the wind, trying to dry it out. But
yeah,
I just, seeing some of the names that are here, I'm excited. It's almost kind of like a redemption from the tradition. A lot of the same guys decided to come on down. So I think you're going to see some good racing tonight, some fast racing. So, and as I say that, I hear cars rolling onto the track.
Yeah, and for those of you on YouTube Live, I don't think the angle quite shows it, but we've actually got some cars rolling onto the front stretch right now.
If you move out of the way.
Oh, let me move out of the way here. But, again, we thank and appreciate you for listening here on Country Sunshine Listening Radio, and we also thank you for watching on YouTube. Again, this YouTube stream will be available for you to watch again and again and again on YouTube. It will be on there. On KCSI's archived YouTube videos, and you can go back and watch your favorite drivers talk. And if you're family members of those drivers, you can watch it, and you can watch it and watch it and watch it. And I don't like listening to myself talk, so for those of you out there that like listening to me talk, I don't usually go back and watch it because I don't like listening to myself talk. So, but you can hear it in the background. We got some compacts rolling, and we got 1 minute left, Cole, And we're ready to kick off the season as
we got some contact already.
Oh
in hot
man!
laps.
And that's our track champion, John Berg, spinning out there.
Woo,
we got
buddy.
some debris over there in turn 2, but giving a little
the wind will
snapshot
take
here.
care of it.
But once again, race fans, we thank and appreciate you for listening, and we're going to get you kicked off here, and we are ready to start the 2023 season NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Racing Series. So for myself, Evan Baldwin, Cole Hendrickson, my dad as well, Cliff, Aaron, thank you for being here tonight. We're going to get you kicked off, and let's go racing. 2023 NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts Weekly Racing Series. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.